Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of The Outer Worlds. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today here with Ellie and Felix. And we're gonna have a chat with Rufus Trask. He might have some information about Felix's, not Ellie. Felix's current predicament. A model spaceship. I'll take that. We have found some of those already. Why is it back here, though? Okay.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
Your wife told me where to find you.
Former wife. And if you so much as hurt a hair on Rosanna's head, I will put you in the ground.
Relax, she's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm having a conversation with a hired killer, but I'm supposed to relax. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying.
Sounds fair. Why did you betray Harlow? Harlow wants your ring as proof of his death. That's all I'm after. That's also true. But I want to ask this. Why did you betray Harlow?
How do I know that I can trust you?
My persuasion is really good. I don't think that's a possibility here. Neither of us trusts. Neither of us trust. Is that how it works? Neither trust? I thought it was neither trusts. Huh. I might be wrong on that. Neither of us trust Harlow. That's a start.
You've got good instincts, then. You were right not to trust Harlow. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You can't be serious. I've known the guy for years.
Yeah, that's about how I reacted when I found out. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes.
You're asking me to take you for your word. Show some evidence.
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. You're looking at her.
Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent.
Why would the board buy Harlow off? Also, really interesting that he said, I'm a board agent because I'm working for Harlow, who's working for the board. I think that's the implication there. Yeah, why would the board buy... Well, actually, that question is really obvious why they would do that. And also, we've seen proof of that. But this second one is not as obvious. What was Harlow doing for the board?
Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
Why would the board buy Harlow off?
Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me.
Yeah, alright, I've heard enough.
Take it you've made up your mind.
I mean, I don't know if the, who wrote the email that we saw. That email that said, I wonder what's going on. Because if it was Harlow, then he's really gullible. And he, of course, him thinking that the board has him in his pocket is not incorrect, but still, it does paint a different picture here. I don't think it was Harlow, though. I mean, according to what we have learned recently, I'll go back there and check. I'm not going to kill you, Trask, but I'm going to ask you for your ring.
You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Yeah, take care. Okay, optional, find Trask's stashed evidence. I will. Very interesting. Felix, where are you right now? Felix, come here.
Clyde Harlow, agent of the board. Yeah, that sounds even more insane out loud than it did in my head. I'm not sure what to think right now. You told me to be suspicious, but I never imagined Clyde would stoop to informing for the establishment. Then again, Trask knew he was a dead man. Could have been trying to shift the blame.
Trask said he had evidence.
I can't imagine Clyde working for the board. But we owe it to ourselves to find out. Trask said he stashed the evidence in a vent back at the base. We should go take a look.
Yeah, let's go. It is interesting that he would sell out. Not because I don't think it's possible, or, you know, unplausible, or unprecedented for that matter, but rather...
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Aw, Ada. I'm sorry Sam is not feeling up for some cleaning duty today. The engine room, you say? Okay. I don't think I... Wait a minute! She's been saying that... She has been saying that for a long while. She has been saying that line in specific for a long while before we caught them in the act, for a lack of a better word. I don't think I can do that, though.
Well, what do you got there? Is that a scrap of Ellie's jacket in your midst, Sam? What did I tell you about stealing? Oh, hey, Captain.
Hi. I hope everything is all right.
Felix keeps asking me to watch some adventure serial with him. It's not my thing, but he's real sweet about it.
Yeah, break time's over. Sam?
Dust accumulation analysis. 2.5 years.
I don't think Sam goes anywhere. I don't think I can talk to him about anything. My ankles. So we are going to the what? Your legs have been damaged too many times, and your movement speed has now been permanently lowered. That's the effect. I don't want that. You are unable to dodge. No, that is the worst thing. That's real. I mean, I don't dodge very often, but oh yeah. I don't dodge at all, for that matter. Dodging in a first-person shooter. But minus 30% speed movement is brutal. Anyway, let's go. See if Ellie has anything to say about this. You press E. Slim and Shine diet toothpaste. Oh yeah, right. We never did we get some of these? We probably did. Whee! Outlaw. Nobody's here to welcome us. Oh, Volker.
Got my sights on you.
You don't have sights at all. Shut up. I know what figurative speech is, by the way. I am aware. How do I get back there? Oh, right, the computers. Acquisition log. Memo. This is from Harlow. What an idiot. What a freaking idiot. He needs to admit. That's the evidence. These receipts detail payments made to C.R. Harlow on behalf of the board for freelancing services. Included are the names of several freighters targeted by Harlow's crew, their manifests, and the sum value of all cargo delivered to board authorities. Have you seen this, Felix?
We need to have a word with Clyde.
We do indeed. What do you think about this evidence?
Looks like Trask was telling the truth. It's all there. Receipts for services rendered, payments, records, ship manifests. Clyde was a pirate for hire, and the board was paying him off. In typical board fashion, they left a trail of receipts behind. Ain't that just ironic?
Yes. Strictly speaking, no. Irony is the opposite of what you expect, and not sort of, yeah.
That ain't the point, boss. I feel like Clyde's been taking us for a ride. I don't want to believe it, but I need to know. Clyde owes us some answers. Something about this don't add up. And I mean to find out why.
You should have thought out why already, because I thought out why. He's really handsome in this lighting. You too, Ellie. So, he is an idiot, Harlow, and he didn't know he was working for the board, according to the emails we saw. Now, picture this. He finds out he's working for the board after he receives a receipt. Not even payment, just a receipt for services rendered. And that's the receipt we have. Now, what does that situation tell you? Well, it's pretty simple. The board wants him destroyed and sends evidence of his collaboration with the board to him so that he gets, you know, a riot in his hands and stuff like that. It still tells you that he's an idiot and should have seen what he was doing. But this also kind of works back to what I was talking about before, that it is interesting that he would sell out, or he would sell out, because usually when you sell out, it's for power. It's not just for, oh, I want money. Usually it's because you are going to have a power transaction more than just a money transaction. Although, I say usually, I don't know. I would expect him to be living a little bit better, at least, at the very least, than what he is right now. Though that's a cool lamp. I want lamps like those. That's really cool looking. I like that a lot. That is a cool lamp. Harlow, I have a difficult conversation for you. Hey, Marlowe. How's it going? Good boy. Good boy. Excuse me.
What's the word?
Trask had a lot to say about you, Harlow.
Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life.
Yeah. Trask told me you'd been working for the board.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand?
Yeah. But that's not the end. Hopefully that's not the end of it. Is it the end of it? Because if that's the end of it, then all I was just talking about is sort of moot. You've been bought off. I've got the receipt.
Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for.
When we met, you told me Trask was an informant for the board. You were lying.
You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face.
I'm gonna do worse than that. Come on, Arlo. Why would Trask rat you out to your own employers? Wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand. To your own employers here, not not employees. Right. That is just, you know, trying to push on, because saying you lied to me. That's basically what this line accomplishes.
How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Heads up!
And I have a Q key. So, that's how that works. Sorry about that. Please don't hit me. Are you hitting me right now? Please don't do that. Hello. What is up? Oh, this is not what I wanted. Sorry, Ellie. Whoa, this thing does... I want hit scans.
They won't try that again.
Mostly on account of them being dead. Yeah, I used the wrong weapon. So I have the assault rifle over here. And the sniper rifle. Right. I need to get used to you. You killed... Who killed Marlowe? You jerks. Now I'm gonna eat Marlowe. Because, you know, that's just how it works. Oh, there you are. So... That's a shame. I guess I was right. I guess Trask was right. Oh, yeah. In saying that he was working for the board. I can't see the prices today. It's just how it is. Today, in this recording session, we can't see the prices of anything. It's just... I don't understand this game. As far as I can tell, it's a bug. And, it's fine. Whatever. There's gonna be expansions, right? And they're gonna patch things up. That's just how Obsidian works. Nothing new. Okay. Good stuff, though. All of them died. Nobody wasn't able to ask them to join me in the fight or anything. It's just murder, murder, murder. That's a nice stool right there. Okay. Wow, look at all this stuff. I don't really want this stuff. Weapon parts are always nice. There's enemies out here. Hey. Oh, there's more. Come on, you can do it.
Who's ready for more?
You can't do it, apparently. I only gained 28 experience. I wonder if the game is trying to tell me anything about what I'm doing here. Also, it sort of bothered me that that he said, "Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal," as if a person in his position wouldn't think himself, you know, a proud criminal, in the sense that, you know, the law is the status quo and the establishment. He used that word, didn't he? Was it him or was it Trask? No, it was Trask specifically. They used that word, the E word. So it sort of was weird, but I'm not gonna say it was like character breaking or anything. It was just sort of a I would say it's a misstep from the writers, because well, the understanding of what criminality is a common misunderstanding. Let's just put it like that. Oh, Felix, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you anything about this.
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
You never really know what's going on inside somebody's skull.
No. I guess you really don't. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me.
The lesson here is not to look up to anyone. Yeah, that's a difficult question to, or that's a difficult lesson to learn. Some people just do that naturally. Money changes people. The board probably offered Harlow a lot of money. I'm not sure. That's weird. He's living in here. It's weird. I can understand why you're upset. You feel like he betrayed you.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that.
It'll pass. Give it time.
I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes we'd put Trask in the ground. You know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time, boss.
Of course. Ellie?
What did I tell you? Harlow's down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it.
Well, he definitely was down with the men, if you know what I mean. Right? Because of... Yeah. Don't sound so excited. That was Felix's friend.
Obviously not. And better for Felix to know that now rather than become the next Trask.
Yeah. Better to keep people at arm's length.
Hard for them to get a knife in your back that way. People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion.
It really isn't. It's a fundamental law of capitalism, and even then it isn't. It really isn't. Like, if you think, like, whenever I think about economics, I have no degree in economics, first off. But whenever I think about, or try to formulate an opinion about anything that I read about it, I always think about how it works on a smaller level, right? Because if you're, imagine you're 5 people living in the middle of a desert and just eking out an existence. That's a very microscopic, no, it's not what I want to say, but it's a very small environment for you to exercise economy. But economy is that. Like, economy literally just means... economy doesn't mean what, you know, world finances and stuff like that. And while it does have to do with that, it has to do with that in a system where world finances are actually very important, and they are today. So economy does matter, or rather, finances do matter when it comes to economy. But economy really just is management of resources. And so when we're talking about, if we're talking about systematic, if we're trying to do a systematic critique, then we need to think about things in a fundamental level. And so I try to think about how things, you know, fundamental law of nature, immediately there. I say I try to think about, but this is the only place where I think about that, really. I don't think about economies all that much. But yeah, think about it as you have a family in the middle of a desert, and one of you knows how to tend the garden, and another one of you knows how to weave baskets, and another one of you knows how to cook, another one of you knows how to hunt. And you sort of teach each other and sort of have that sort of cooperation, and there's literally no transaction in there. It's just a family in the middle of the desert, or whatever, no, in the jungle. It doesn't matter. But as you start to grow, and maybe I think like this because I did learn about not prehistoric, proto-historic economies, because we don't have access to, well, we can hypothesize about how prehistoric economies worked, and we do have some access to the means of subsistence and all this sort of stuff, but specifically in regards to trade and bartering, we do have access to some information regarding proto-historic cultures. In me being a Portuguese person and also having majored in archaeology, I studied a lot of history, so maybe that's where it comes from, because I studied how the tribes that I don't remember their names anymore, the Visigoths and stuff like that. It's not the Visigoths; those are way later. Those are historical people, or rather, they existed in history. They knew how to write. That's what history means, by the way. It's just, you know, recorded history. That's history. And if it is unrecorded, then it's prehistory. The point is, I studied those, and maybe that's why I think about it like that. They had tribes of 70, 100, 200 people at most in a single place, in a single emplacement, and they, while they did have, we have evidence of bartering, the sharing of resources was a lot akin to families, to big families, and indeed, and we have a parallel in that as well in the kingdoms era of the Roman Empire, which wasn't an empire, it was a kingdom. I don't know how to say that though, but the Romans did have and the Greeks definitely had, well, actually the Greeks, some cities had stuff like this. Some cities were full-on shared resources, and others were very much not. some of the Hellenic cities for the Greeks, and the Cretan from Crete. How do you say that? Either way, the point is economies vary wildly, and when we're talking about things like this that people look out for their own interests, they don't. I mean, unless you just want to make their own interests as volatile or as malleable as possible. Yes, they do. If their own interest is the survival of their family, but like, that's not what you're saying. You're saying that he got corrupted because his own interest was money, and like, I don't think it was. He didn't have anywhere to put the money on. In here, it works better than it does in the real world, because in the real world, anybody can be corrupted by money, because they can use it. And here, they can't. Money, you can't eat money. It doesn't matter. But maybe he did. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he did. See what you do to me, Ellie? Why'd you have to go and talk about fundamental law of nature? And I haven't even read the... I mean, I did read this one because it's short. I haven't even read the replies. You can't live your life thinking the worst of everyone. That's not really... It's not really what she's doing, though. In my experience, people who think this, they don't necessarily... Well, sometimes they do. But they don't necessarily think worse of people because they look out for their own interests. Even though they defend that everybody looks out for their own interests. And, of course, in the world we live in, that's a very popular myth. It's just not the case. It's just absolutely not the case. There's so many people who don't do that. And in a society where we are almost forced to look out for our own interests under the pain of being homeless and dead. Because well, actually depends on the country you live in, but still, our society just super forces people to look out for their own interests. And in our society, we have a lot of people who don't look out for their own interests. Or, I mean, above the others, is what I mean. This last one is weird. She says, same as gravity and conservation of motion. It's a fundamental law of nature. Except we've created artificial gravity. Yeah, there's no insightful... Which is sort of interesting. I would expect this game to have an... maybe that is where we're going with that. But an insight into this. Because this is a very traditional libertarian... it's actually not libertarian. It's classical conservative. Is that... it's the classical liberal. That's the word, not classical conservative. Classical liberal. There's a very classical liberal notion about society, and it's based on zero evidence and proof. It's just thought up like that of people that lived in the 16th and 17th century and decided, you know what, we're going to make an economic system that is based on the fundamental law of nature that people don't look out for each other, they look out for their own interests. And then they made the mess that we're in. Good job. I hope the planet doesn't die, and we get to live to make people put into spaces so they can be exploited by huge corporations, like in Alien, which is a fantastic movie and you should go watch it. We've created artificial gravity, Ellie.
This is why I hate metaphors. Look, I see a lot of people, inside and out. When you get down to it, we're all made of the same stuff. Once you accept that, nothing much surprises you.
Ever consider that looking out for others can be in your best interests? That's as far as I can get into this. I think I did. I think I said what I think about the subject, but my character here is only saying some things.
I'm warning you, that reverse psychology stuff doesn't work on me.
I don't think you know what reverse psychology is. How is that reverse psychology? Reverse psychology would be me being like, yeah, looking out for people's interests is really bad. That's how reverse psychology works. Also, it doesn't work. I mean, it's just a thing. It's a confirmation bias thing. Even you never really go it alone. You usually throw your lot in with a crew. Yeah, the familial approach to the subject is I think a good anchor point for thinking about this stuff. That's why I referenced it. Let's go with it.
Sure do. And unlike you, Captain, the rest of us don't get a big fancy room with wall-to-wall windows. But let's forget about that, please. Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony?
You really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am.
And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. Enough about Harlow, though. Anything else?
Nope. Let's go back to the ship. Well, let's end the episode because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been The Outer Worlds. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.